Good afternoon. Microphone check. Looks like everything's working correctly here. Good. All right. Welcome. Hopefully everyone has had a great week so far. Hopefully you've had a great day so far. Coming into the end of the day on a Friday. Plenty of price action overall today, but a lot of back and forth. Super choppy. As far as we're back to break even again as far as the day goes. It's at negative 0.0403%. Settlements at 64675. It just hasn't moved a whole lot. As far as the overall movement goes, turn the entries and exits off there so you can see. We've got the really nice drive to the downside, and after the sellers, man, they almost lost their grip on that break higher, and the sellers just rifled it right back down. But after that new low was made, it's been nonstop back up again. So I've got to imagine that a lot of sellers are really underwater here. I've got to assume that they're probably having a tough time. It'd be very interesting to see where they want to go from here. See if they can get a little bit more continuation to the upside or what's going on. Looking to see if we can get a continuation move to the upside. Testing settlement again. Not really getting the man. Just poke above the high and then fails right back down again. Rough. Pretty nice blow off above the highs. Might be able to get a bit more continuation above settlement, but honestly, looks like buyers are probably going to want to pull back a little bit further. Nice little bear bar pullback. Off of settlement too, so there is going to be a lot of buyers taking profit up here. There are going to be. Potential interest, man, it's for the buy side, which is it's a little bit tough given the way that it's been moving, but it would be right about. First off, let's not have that red. Let's make that green. There we go. And then the next zone. It's going to be a little bit further down. That would be a trap below that major low. All that congestion down there. It's a really nice zone of interest if they can pull back. 5-minute bulls really strong to the upside once again, but it's up to the top, and this is an area where a lot of buyers who have been long for the entire day, they're going to be looking to take profit and see if they can push back again. A nice quick little flush down through the 40s might be an area of interest for scalpers, but honestly, I would rather see like 32.50. I just think it makes more sense to see it a little further down. It's too tough to want to buy way up here at settlement. And given the volume today, I mean, honestly, it kind of looks like there's still a lot of business to be done from a range perspective. Because from a range perspective, we've got this really nice, obvious, I mean, the POC smack in the middle. But then we've got this little bump of volume at the top, and it almost feels like that's some unfinished business, and that unfinished business is right at settlement. Yikes. That makes it a little complicated. See if they can get a little bit of a pop back to the upside again. This is all scalpers territory up here. Big rally to the upside. See if they can try to break through a new high. Kinda. There's still a lot of ticks left on the candle, so it's possible to get another breakout. Not exactly the best follow through in the world so far. All right, well, I'm looking for a little bit more of a pullback then if they're going to fail at the top like that. Ooh, maybe the bulls take it back again? Nope. Right back down. Bear bar back down again with a 1-tick trap on the highs. Going to be pretty important, though, because they've got to trigger in the sellers. They've got the trap on the high, but look at the 5-minute chart. I mean, man, that's a really strong move to the upside. Wasn't, not so sure it's a very strong trend altogether from the bottom. But nice strong trend to the upside with that weak inside bull bar. Nobody's really sure. And then they follow it through on 68. Massive bull move to the upside. Then we've got an inside pullback on the last wick. Candle gapping to the upside. There's a lot of things still pointing north. Right now, the candle gaps are going to put objectives at... Let's get the 1-to-1 out. There we go. Upside Upside objectives right now are at 11,660. Unless they fill that gap in a little bit. That's a big bad bear bar right there. Ooh, maybe not. They're trying to take it back. They're still fighting over settlement. Would like to see a little bit of a washout back below 42, 41.50. Somewhere underneath there for buyers to try to sweep it back. I'd like to see it really pop below it, though. Maybe even a little bit lower towards the 40s. Just need a little bit of a pop. I'm looking for longs if it can drop back down. More of like a washout play, but I want to see it really push down. This little low stuff isn't going to do much. I need it to really push. Like that. Nice little pop there. Looking for longs on a scalp first, but potential for it to continue back up a little bit more. First scalp targets are coming off up here. I would like to see it push through this 42.50 area and see if they can get a little bit more really nice washout dip. Now they've got to stay above 42.50. Stay above 42.50 NASDAQ. As long as they can stay above 42.50, it'll be all right. Still looking for a little bit more continuation. Trying to get going. Stay above 42.50 NASDAQ. Hey, man, it's playing with that area hard. 100 ticks left on the candle. How vindictive does it want to be? You think it's going to close on it? Right on 42.50? Ooh, nice bull bar to the upside. Great potential for continuation. Now I want to see it stay above 45. I don't want it to pull back too much. It's got to stay above 45s. Now we're back to settlement. It's got to stay above settlement. I don't want it to dip too far back underneath it. It's fine if it flashes under there for a second, but I got to see it pop back up again. It's staying under. Get back up. Get back up, buyers. Don't get back below that settlement and we'll be okay. Oy. All right, I'm going to jump out. They're hanging out underneath it a little too long. Nice little pop, but ugh. Getting stuck on that settlement again. They filled in the gap a little bit on the 5-minute chart. That means upside objectives are a little bit closer, 55.75. Ooh, really nice bullish continuation. Maybe. Hang on, they're taking it back. Just kidding. Maybe. It was an okay bull bar. Could be better. Could be worse. Having a real tough time at the highs there. They're trying to keep the bullishness continued up to the highs, finish those objectives off up towards the 55s. There's a lot of resistance up here, though, because every time it tries to go higher, it just gets slapped right back down again. Nice pullback. The question, I guess, comes into, is it actually just a pullback? If it wasn't happening on top of settlement, I'd like it a little more. Tough spot. Like, big bear bar too, maybe? That's a nasty bear bar. Also kind of like a little micro head and shoulders inside there. Poking their head above the highs. Why am I using lines? I've got a polygon tool. Come on now. Oh, excellent. Can't even see it. That's exactly what I was going for. All right, there we go. So we've got the head and shoulders up at the top. That means that it's projecting downside objectives at the earliest. Wow, talk about nailing that one. At the earliest would be at 32.50, and the extended would be all the way down to 23.50. Yeesh. Now remember, head and shoulders patterns are continuation patterns in the long run and reversal patterns in the short run. Traders are going to be looking for a break of the neckline, which is down slanted. That's not great. It'd be nicer if it was up slanted. But they're going to be looking for a break of the neckline and a continuation down. And downside targets for the sellers are going to be back to the previous zone of interest. Well, guess who's going to be waiting there? Buyers will be more than happy to jump back in at that area if they can get it. So there's going to be some buyers that are waiting right around that same zone, which is where the completion area of the head and shoulders aggressive spot takes place too. So it's kind of a nice little 1-2 punch. After that, then you've got the bigger monster zone over here. Where's the end of this box? Jeez. All right, market pushing down off of the highs, still finding and struggling around settlement. Now we do have a lower high. Question is this going to be a lower high, lower low? Oof. Lower high, lower low. So now we have a possible trend continuation off of the highs. Not the best thing in the world, but at least an ABCD, almost to the tick. Oh, to the tick. So if sellers did take it, they might already be out. ABCD targets to the downside. I'd still like to see it go a little further down. This could also just be a 3-press low. It's right at that 3-press low, too. Yikes. This would be so much nicer if it wasn't at the settlement. Zone of interest, I mean, buyers could still scalp that area. It's just a little bit more difficult now with that lower high and now a lower low too. I would rather wait for a deeper pullback or just more proof. See if they can get another push back to the upside. Technically, it's a secondary long. It's the second time the buyers are coming in. Might find some buyers on that, especially with such a weak low. Oof. No. How's this bull bar going to close here? Jeez. All right. I mean, kinda. I don't know if I trust that candle anymore, but it closed bullish, I guess. Wow. Would really like to see a little bit more of a dip to the downside. If buyers can, oh man, if buyers can get a little bit of a flush down to that 35, a quick little washout down to there, that would be a completion of the head and shoulders. That would also be an overextension of the 3-press low. That would be the buyers defending the original area of interest. That's so many things stacking up, but it's got to push down to like the 35s. I mean, realistically, for full completion, like 32s. Oof, okay. We're going all at once. Nice push to the downside. Big giant bear bar. Still haven't completed anything. Oh man. They missed that buy zone by just a fraction of an inch too. That 5-minute chart looks horrible. Would love to see a good dip at least back to 37.50. I would still really like to see them get into the 35s to 32s. Really like the 32s. Candle's still got tons of time. I mean, we've got 4 minutes left on this candle, so it's got plenty of time to finish the job. Nice little push down. I tried grabbing it on the dip there, but didn't get it. See if they can push back down again, sub 37.50s. I didn't get any of those. Man, I tried to hit the bid 3 times, didn't get a single one. All right, see if they can push back down again. Jeez. I want a nice little flush down into that objective to get them out of the way. Get a nice little dip down into that support zone. Nice little dip into that support zone. Scalpers starting to look for pushes out. Big volatility jump. Still have one contract. Didn't get out of that one. Mostly just scalp exits, seeing if they can push back up again. Man, these things are whippy. Weak bull bar. Got to see him hold here. So far, it's been a lot of weakness and wicking on the top there. They got to keep pushing higher than that. Not getting the move. I'm going to jump ship. Tried getting a quick little scalp bounce there, and that's all that it was worth, was a scalp. Jeez, no follow through from the buyers. Beautiful buy zone. Got a nice initial bounce and then just nothing. Maybe they follow through a little bit more, but these wicks don't really prove a whole lot. Remember, it's Friday too. Being Friday, a lot of weird things happen on Fridays. Fridays are some of the biggest days. So far, nothing really has happened today, and there's only 30 minutes left. Never say never. We had a really nice completion of the head and shoulder zone. Got a nice initial bounce out of it too, but not enough. Still falling on its face. You can see buyers are not so sure. They keep piecing out. Every time it pokes into the 35s, it's a little bit more. Like, I don't know. There's still 200 ticks left on the candle, so if it's going to jump, it's going to do it soon. They really want to see this stick the landing. A weak bull bar is not going to be good. Running down to the wire. It was, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's a good chunk of wick on the top of that candle. That could have been better. An immediate bear bar down, that's a really good sign that sellers aren't done yet. If bull bars get some more follow through to the upside, then maybe that was just a 100% completion. We've also filled in the entirety of the gap, so the necessity of the market going higher isn't there anymore. That doesn't have to happen. If anything, there's potentially downside gaps. Those are looking for downside objectives at 28 quarter. At the moment. So 28 quarter are the seller's downside objectives. Yeah, I would still like to see him get down into the 24s, but good secondary bounce off that head and shoulders completion zone. That is only the 100% zone, so less interest there, but seems to be enough so far. Ugh, double top? Maybe? Still 300 ticks left on the candle. Again, plenty of time. A lot can happen when you've got that kind of candle. That's usually when they break out. They use that extra volume as time to get the breakout going. They're trying. Buyers do not want to fall on their face here. They need a good move to the upside. A good bull bar closing on its highs, something to show some decent conviction. That's a bull bar right there. Really nice bull bar. Looking for longs on pullbacks for a continuation to the upside. Like to see objectives into the 4250s. First objectives. I only got 2 contracts, huh? All right, getting a couple more. I'm still all right with a target at 41 quarter. We'll see if they want to push back up. Still 200 something ticks left on the candle. Again, plenty of time for this to finish. 100 ticks. Buyers still trying to go. Didn't get it at 41 quarter. Yeah, they can really be a tough day to trade on, that's for sure. Weak bear bar, that's not necessarily that nerve-wracking for buyers. It's not great. I mean, it could have been better, but it's not terrible either. I'm going to see if I can grab a little bit of a snap pullback here for another bounce. Didn't get it. Looking for objectives above 40s. I'd like to see them push back up to 4250s. Nice little pop there above the 40s. See if they can go up to the 4250s. Round 2. 200 ticks left. If they're going to break out, they're going to do it sooner than later. I'm looking for a breakout up. I think shorts are stuck, but if that fails, then, well, might have a little bit of a harder time. Could be relatively aggressive, though, so I'm going to float a limit out just to be safe. Just to make sure that it fills if it pops. At least 43. Come on, NASDAQ. I think I can. Hey, there we go. All right, now it's got to keep going, looking for continuation. I don't want to see it breaking below 42.50 by much. And the closer we get to settlement, the less patient I'm going to be with it. It already came like 4 or 5 ticks away. I'm out. Nope. No thanks. Too much. No bueno. Nice little dip for a continuation move. Held right out of the zone. I mean, it's a perfect bounce. It's just so sloppy right now. And it's getting towards the end of the day. We got about 20 minutes until 4 o'clock hits. Fridays can definitely be rough. The worst ones are when you start getting like the expiration Fridays. Those are brutal. Right now, I think the only reason that today is a little bit more difficult as far as Fridays go is because we're getting close to the elections. You've got all this other stuff. I mean, man, there's just so much going on, you know? Thank you. Yeah, it's finding good entry areas, especially when the market's chopping around like this. That can be tough. The important thing is when it gets to the right location, strike fast. And if you're right, bank it quick because man, when the market decides that it's time for you to be wrong, it doesn't give you a second chance. Bulls continuing to get good continuation to the upside. Man, still haven't really had much of a pullback in terms of size. I mean, realistically, that's not that much of a pullback. It's all these little bitty shallow ones. I would love to see that deeper pullback down sub 20s into the 620s, 615s, 610s. That would be beautiful for longs. Problem is, end of day, end of week, timing's a little bit awkward. Candle gap has completely filled in, so that is... Nope, don't delete that. I still need that. Nice continuation back up. Testing settlement again. Tough spot, too, because now we're... oh, man. We're starting to get some really gross potential completion up here. This is a really hard spot. I normally trade the S&P 500. Slow, steady most days. Yeah, that's one thing. We always kind of jokingly call it old reliable. It's always there. It's always moving at its pace. Never really changes a whole lot. Sometimes goes a little faster. You know, might push 45. But it's usually always a pretty steady pace. The NASDAQ, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the NASDAQ, but you should be afraid of it. I think that's a healthy fear to have because, man, even on the micros, if you're not careful, the micros will rip your face off on the NASDAQ. It's an unforgiving market, and you do have to have a really, really good discipline, and not just good discipline, but fast discipline, right? You've got to have those fast decisions to be like, all right, nope, I got to get out. And sometimes you leave a little bit early, but it's got to be that quick response because the NASDAQ doesn't give a second shot. And if it does, you better react fast to the second time. All right, looks like they held the 100% reversal area and bounced back up again. So nice head and shoulders reversal there. And again, head and shoulders patterns, like we always talk about, they are continuation patterns. This time they continued off of the 100% with a rally back to the upside. Nice pop to new highs. Now be a little bit cautious up here. This seems a little too good to be true, doesn't it? This massive, strong rally right at the end of the day with 15 minutes to go. A little suspect. This rally up seems to be exhaustive at the wrong time of day. Might lead to an end-of-day drop. We're filling in a lot of volume up here, so it might, I mean, if we can continue this upswing momentum and break through, looking at the volume pockets, we've got reduced volume really from like 48 all the way up to 62. So if we can start breaking above the 62s, 63s cleanly, then we start breaking above all of that resistance, and that might be one heck of a rally into the end of the day. Right now, it seems suspect. Little too good to be true. Doesn't mean you can't buy, just means be cautious. Don't get stuck holding the bag at the top and adding too aggressively, you know? All right, and we are going into 345, and it's a Friday. I'm not planning on holding any positions over the weekend, and I'm flat right now, and I'm going to keep it that way. So, overall, pretty good afternoon. Decent amount of volatility. Keep an eye out for this last part of the day. It might still be very interesting. I have a couple meetings that I have to make it to, but keep an eye on this last 15 minutes or so. Could be a real wild one. And with the elections and everything going on next week too, Sunday might be wild as well. Man, we'll have to see, but that's going to do it. As per the usual, if I missed any questions or anything like that, you can always shoot me an email, jhb@ssftg. Also, we have the morning brief and everything else, but if you haven't done so yet, make sure to swing on over and do the 3-day trial. It's free, and you can check us out for a couple days during the New York stock session instead of having to wait for the YouTube session. Either way, though, it was good seeing you all. Hope you all had a fantastic week of trading. Hopefully you had a great day of trading. But that'll do it. So enjoy the weekend, and we will see you all back on Monday. And for some of you members in the chat room, might see you back Sunday night. We'll see. But either way, enjoy, rest up, and we will see you all later. Thanks.